But policemen are apparently not the only people cynical about the Truth Commission process. From conversations, radio talk shows and letters to newspapers, it appears that ordinary white South Africans do not associate with the Commission. In 2 months of hearings, very few white faces could be seen in the public gallery.
There is an expectation, rightly or wrongly, that accusations or allegations are going to be made against white persons and white government. And that may cause people to feel that they will be uncomfortable sitting out there, even if they themselves particularly had nothing to do with gross human rights violations. But I think the other reason is that, again, South African society has been so apathetic. A lot of people just did not know what was taking place. And because they did not know what was taking place, there's a tendency to feel that what is being recounted is hyperbolic, that it is an exaggeration. And in fact, for some, they regard what is being said as downright lies.
We are getting tremendous pressure from our own people who say reconciliation is only coming from one angle, from those who had to face the brunt of apartheid.
There are some white people who see this as the Truth Commission as addressing the needs of black people in this country, without a doubt, and that's something we have to confront and face and try to turn around. I think one of the other reasons is that white people simply can't cope with hearing about the pain and the torture, the suffering. They're feeling depressed and kind of have the attitude of, I actually can't hear another of these stories. It's too painful, it's too depressing, I actually just want to pretend it's not happening.
It is very hard and very, very sad, and people feel guilty that they were not aware or that they didn't do anything at the time, and so it brings that back. But if we're going to bring back people's pain, then I think those of us who didn't suffer like that should be prepared to face just the pain of having been around at the time and not being able to prevent it.
For those who didn't want to know or did not know, more likely did not want to know, are finding solace in, again, not wanting to know, even when the opportunity is being presented. Because if a person is going to say, I didn't know what was happening, so I can't be blamed. Here is now an opportunity for the nation to know what was happening, but they don't avail themselves of the opportunity. It's a denial sort of thing.
I think a white person should actually come to a hearing, not watch it on TV, not read about it in the newspaper, but actually come and share in the process. I think people who have attended hearings have been overwhelmed by what they have felt, by the pain they are seeing, but have also felt the community spirit, the spirit of unity, the spirit of support, and the spirit of forgiveness. And certainly those people who I have spoken to who have come to hearings have found it a quite remarkable experience.
It's unfortunate when we look into the attendance here, the majority of the white people and our brothers and sisters are not here as South Africans. We want to close that chapter of our own country, of our own past, and they are part of that history.
We're not out to blame and white bash, as it were. We're looking at what a system did, and it's not only the apartheid system, it's a number of systems did to particular groups of people, and I think it's very important that we move away from the racial divide.
But what about those who fought against white domination? Let's ask young activists who listened to the Mtimkulu's story in the Truth Commission this week.
Siphiwo is a hero. Siphiwo will always be a hero.
This week at the Truth Commission, it was a mother's turn to speak of her son who had disappeared, and for his former comrades to remember him.
And the picture that I have in my mind is exactly the picture of, a promising young leader then who could have been a prominent figure, you see, I assume, in the present world today.
But also a time to discuss forgiveness versus justice, the need for the truth, white fears, and the role of the Truth Commission. On Wednesday night, we joined Siphiwo Mtimkulu's former comrades and friends to debate and discuss these issues. They are all former or current members of the South African Congress of Students, of which Siphiwo was the leader. Many of them were also detained and tortured during the 80s.
How do I feel against the people who tortured me? I think I can always forgive them.
Do you want to take revenge?
Not at all. No one wants to take any revenge.
People should come out, whatever things that have happened, people should come out and say them so that, you begin to lose this weight in your heart or mind, you see.
The new culture in our country is based on transparency, accountability and mandate. The party which is leading today in the government of social unity is having a vision. It's having a certain culture we want to instill in our people that whenever you're doing something, you must account to your countrymen. Whenever you have been sent to do something, you must come back and report to your countrymen. And whatever wrong you have done, you must be open and say, well, I admit I've gone wrong.
But now all we're saying is that Nivold, Rulovs, Duplessis and all other implicated policemen must come forth, put their story, and then, because the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, you see, seeks to reconcile the nation, we can then, say, let bygones be bygones. In other words, we can forgive them.
People like that shouldn't be granted amnesty because, they had brain to think.
It's a no-win situation for Nivold or any of his friends. No-win situation. You go, you don't, he must just come. In fact, it's even worse if he doesn't come.
They are not the right people for the type of society that we want.
What should we do with them?
We should take them to the prison.
Do you think there's some policemen who were so bad during the 80s that they can't get amnesty?
No ways.
We have got what is referred to as Ubuntu, right? And that is humanity, respect of other people's, integrity and life.
But in general, people are saying, give them a chance, come forward. In other words, they are forgiving them. One of the reasons is the Mandela factor. The kind of a leader we have in South Africa is an example, a shining example. We have seen that it is important, not to have a grudge, It is important, at times, to forgive and forget. Now, because Mandela commands respect in the whole of this country, people are following that example.
Nobody has got a right to kill here, right? Nobody has got a right to take any other person's life.
We saw, histories unfolding in the continent. We saw where, not to forgive could lead to. We don't want to follow the same pattern. You see, it will lead us to nowhere. There won't be any winners in that kind of situation.
But what about white fears and suspicions towards the Truth and Reconciliation Commission?
They must understand that this is part of a process of nation building, of bringing these two worlds that have been apart together, right? The white world and the black world. They must come together into one rainbow nation.
Most of the white people have never even seen the significance of our struggle in the first place. And therefore wouldn't be a point for them to see eye to eye with us about the Truth Commission at the end of the day.
The commission there is exactly in that spirit of bringing this nation together. Not revenge or avenging or whatever, but trying to heal the wounds that have been inflicted on us, right, by apartheid, not by whites.
If they feel that Truth Commission is a waste of time, we are here to debate that with them and we convince each other.
We need to give, the TRC support. We don't have to, some people have said that we don't have to take this route, of the TRC. But they we are saying that no, instead of like pursuing the opposite of the the converse, things might not turn out to be ugly in this country. There might not be peace. So let the TRC be made a success. Let it be supported by everybody.